All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're on the hunt for a lost city, a place that was basically hiding in plain sight for almost 4,000 years. And this isn't just any old city. It was so advanced, so revolutionary, that it might just be the very cradle of Chinese civilization.
So that leads us right to the heart of the mystery. You see, for centuries, this was just a ghost story from the history books. Ancient historians wrote about this legendary first dynasty, the Xia, but for millennia, there was zero physical proof. So the big question is, was it real or just a really good myth?
Okay, so let's unpack this a little. The story of the Xia dynasty. This is basically China's origin story. We're talking about a legend from 4,000 years ago, about these incredible kings who supposedly tamed massive floods and created the whole idea of a dynasty. It's an amazing tale, right? But for the longest time, that's all it was, just a story.
And you've got to picture this. For centuries, archaeologists were out there digging, searching desperately for any sign of the Xia. Anything at all. They found proof of later dynasties, sure, like the Shang, but the Xia, it was just gone. It was a total ghost, a historical cold case that nobody could crack. But then, in 1959, everything changed. Archaeologists working in a place called Erlitou, right in the Yellow River Valley, they stumbled onto something huge, the ruins of a massive ancient city. And this was the first real breakthrough.
You know, the time scale we're talking about here is just mind-blowing. Think about it. The Xias supposedly existed around 2000 BCE. The first person to write their history, Sima Qian, did it around 100 BCE. That's a nearly 2,000-year gap. And then it took another 2,000 years before anyone found this site at Erlitou. So this discovery wasn't just some small clue. It was like finding a bridge across this gigantic 4,000-year-old gap in history.
So the big question is, what exactly did they unearth at Erlitou? Well, this is where it gets really good. We're going to go through the evidence, almost like detectives at a crime scene, to figure out what made this place so special. First off, just the sheer size of the place. The main palace, it was over 10,000 square meters. To put that in perspective, that's about 1.5 football fields. This wasn't just a big building, it was a massive statement of power. Seriously, nothing on this scale had ever been built in that part of the world before. And it wasn't just big, it was incredibly organized. The whole city was laid out on a central axis. You had these huge palaces with multiple courtyards, specific workshops for high-end goods like bronze and turquoise. The takeaway here is huge. This wasn't just some overgrown village. This was a master-planned city, the blueprint for pretty much all future Chinese capitals. It screams powerful, centralized government. This was a total game changer for how society was structured. Before Erlitou, you basically just had scattered villages with simple houses. And then, boom, all of a sudden, you have this enormous, planned-out urban center with a massive palace complex right in the middle. This is the moment you can see a bunch of separate groups becoming a single, unified state. It's the birth of a civilization right before our eyes.
So, how did they do it? What was fueling this explosion of political power? Well, it all came down to a revolutionary new technology, something that gave the rulers an edge that must have seemed almost magical. And that technology was bronze. Now, the people at Erlitou didn't just know how to make bronze. They perfected this incredibly sophisticated technique called piece mold casting. And listen, this isn't like your village blacksmith hammering out a horseshoe. This was high-tech stuff for the time. It was basically a state secret, something that only the rulers controlled because it took so much skill and so many resources to pull off. And when you walk through the steps, you really get how brilliant this was. First, you have to sculpt a perfect model out of clay. Then, you build a complex puzzle of outer mold pieces around it. You have to fire all those pieces, put them back together perfectly, and then pour in molten bronze. If you get one thing wrong, the whole thing is ruined. But if you get it right, you get these absolutely stunning, intricate bronze vessels. They weren't just objects, they were symbols of incredible power.
And that right there is the whole point. Whoever controlled the bronze controlled the power. These weren't just pretty decorations. These were sacred items used in rituals to speak with the gods and ancestors. If you were the king, these bronzes were your proof of legitimacy. They were your hotline to the heavens and the raw material for your army's weapons. Control the bronze, you control everything.
Okay, so let's put it all together. We've got a massive, highly organized city. We've got game-changing technology. And it all shows up in exactly the right location and at exactly the right time, according to the ancient legends. So is this it? Is this the solution to our 4,000-year-old mystery?
Well, here's the verdict. The evidence connecting Erlitou to the Xia it's really, really strong. The location? It's a perfect match for where the ancient text said the Xia would be. The dates? They line up exactly. The sheer scale? It's exactly what you'd expect from a powerful capital. But, and this is a big but, there's one thing missing. Writing. Archaeologists haven't found a single inscription that says, King Yu was here, or property of the Xia dynasty. So, while most experts are pretty convinced this is it, we can't say it's 100% proven. It's still the leading theory, not a closed case.
But honestly, here's what really matters. Whether we call it Xia or something else, it's almost beside the point. What we know for certain is that this place, Erlitou, is the genesis of Bronze Age China. The people here created the blueprint for what a Chinese state would look like for the next 3,000 years. They figured out how to combine political control on the ground with ritual power through bronze. It was a winning formula. This isn't just a city. It's the very DNA of Chinese civilization.
And that just leaves you with one final, kind of mind-bending thought, doesn't it? If a civilization this important, this foundational, could be completely lost to time for millennia, it just makes you wonder, what other revolutionary cultures, what other incredible stories are still out there, buried right under our feet, just waiting to be discovered?